Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new animated film, Chicken for Linda. And this is from director Sebastian Landerbach and Chiara Malta. And this film focuses on the story of a loving mother, Paulette, who feels guilty about unfairly punishing her daughter, Linda, who lets her pick anything she wants, and she wants chicken and peppers. And this dish seems pretty simple, but there's a lot of emotional baggage to it in regards to Paulette's deceased husband and Linda's deceased father. And they wind up going on this crazy adventure that becomes extremely complicated because a strike leads all the grocers to shut down and they can't find damn chicken. And this is such a wild film. This is only 73 minutes, but I think the first thing to focus on is the visuals, because it's this very specific, hand-drawn approach where there's not a ton of detail in every person, and they're very fluid in how they move. The details move and start to appear, so you understand. They're a little blobby, but also done in this like refined and beautiful little hand drawing, and each person is a color, each item is a color. It all started with this ring, and there's a green illumination around it, and it helps certain things really stand out. The background is also beautifully rendered and drawn, and this is such a visually striking and unique visual experience that just honestly is worth just watching this beautiful animation, this art in motion, that's so fascinating to look at. Now, if you think about the story, it starts off in its first act very grounded, very emotional, and dealing with these themes of grief. And there's a impact there. It's also an interesting cultural thing because a lot of the adults are very to the point with their children, and you're just like, whoa, you'd get canceled for that. And it's that kind of approach that's very interesting, dynamic, and I think might be jarring for people to watch. I'm assuming it's just like a cultural difference, but the dynamic between Paulette and Linda and Astrid, who's Paulette's sister and Linda's aunt, is a very specific, tenuous kind of dynamic at this point in their lives because of what was lost in this whole situation. And Paulette and Astrid, very different people. And their dynamics cause a lot of tension throughout this first act of the film that has a lot of emotional weight. Then this film shifts into, wow, we need to get a chicken. And how are we going to get this chicken? And plot-wise, this goes way out in the left field, how ridiculous and crazy. Like, this is in the same vein of like a Bob's Burgers episode where things go wrong and things get weird. And like, the kids aren't as weird. Like, Linda is generally a pretty, what you would say, normal child. But it's that kind of strange, like, how did we get here kind of thing. And I think it gets a little unwieldy after a while with, like, how far and crazy out there this plot goes, which I think takes away a little bit from the anchoring themes of the film and distracts a little bit too much from it. But it does have some fun slapstick. It's admittedly funny seeing a bunch of grown-ass people and this child chasing after a chicken. You have, like, children uprisings against adults at certain points because Linda has a whole entire crew of people, young people in her corner. And this whole story is wild. But thematically, it's rich and dense and meaningful. Visually and artistically, it's just gorgeous to look at and awe-inspiring to experience. So this all comes together and offers, even if it loses itself a little bit plot-wise, something that's really sweet, meaningful, and charming that I think can be appreciated by the whole family. But those are my thoughts on Chicken for Linda. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you, as always, for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.